In the product profiling stage, we actually start to consume or use the product in the groups with the consumers. And so we will start with the first consumer. We'll go through consumers one at a time. Although it looks like a group, what we're really doing here is 5 in-depth one-to-one interviews about their product experience. So we start with the first consumer, we get them to consume the product, and we give them the 120 odd words that we have got in the product profile. And we ask them to respond to those words. They can add some words if they want, absolutely. We don't stop them from adding words, but we are now giving them a vocabulary. You know that if we ask someone, what does that taste like? What do you think of that? If they're really good, they'll give us 3 or 4 words, one of which will be nice, which is no good to anyone. But we give them the 120 words and give them that vocabulary and ask them to respond to it. And we don't let them get away with just picking 4 or 5 of them. We work them hard and we get them to pick as many of those words as they can. So we go through the whole product experience with the first person. We'll work around the rest of the group and we'll do exactly the same with all of them with different products. What's happening is they can learn from the person before them in terms of what is expected of them, but they've got a different product, and also I will make it very clear to them I want their personal reaction, not someone else's. So all they can give me is their personal reaction from those 120 odd words plus whatever they want to add. And we will cross-question them. That's interesting. You said that that's really relaxing. Tell me what you mean by relaxing. Tell me more about relaxing. Do you remember we broke your experience down into different stages? At what stage of your consumption experience did you find that you started to relax? And we start to really question them quite deeply about their emotional responses. And we very quickly, as we go around the group, we very quickly start to connect their physical or their perceived experience of the product with the emotions that it triggers. But as I actually move around the group, I start to understand not only the individual's responses, but the group responses here. What happens when this particular segment of society interact with this product? And I start to understand. So when the product does this, this is the way that most people respond. When the product does this, this is the way that most people respond. And this is the emotional journey that our consumers, as a generic group, are experiencing when they consume this product. Now we can really start to understand what's happening with our product, also with our competitive products. We can start to identify the differentiating points of our particular brand. What makes our brand different from the other brands or products within this category? And why is it different? Why do consumers like that particular element? What is it that element makes people respond in this way? We can really start to connect those dots in these groups. So we can now start to understand that this is the way people respond to your product, this is the way they respond to competitive products, these are the really key differences. And then we can come back to you and say, this is how you can communicate slightly differently to really point out your advantages, your differentiating points. This is the way you can improve your product to really break you apart and create those differentiating positive factors within your products.